Okay, hello. My name is Liana Cooklover, and I am here with my daughter. She's going to be my student to do my lesson plan, which is called Expression of Self. So this lesson plan is the grade range is second grade. So within this lesson plan, it's going to be art that's going to have self-expression. So students will create expressive drawing by examining how lines, shapes, and colors can communicate emotions. They analyze simple artwork, experiments with expressive art making, and create drawing that visually convey a chosen emotion. Students then write brief reflection, connecting their artistic choices to emotional meaning. Okay, so what you're going to do today is you're going to be drawing out with you're going to be drawing and expressing your feelings, your emotions, how you feel today, or what's your best emotion, and you're going to draw it out on a piece of paper using different lines, shapes, colors, communication through your art of how of your emotions or your expressions. And then after that, we're going to have a reflection on answering questions about it, and then also speaking about what your drawing is, what it means to you, what kind of expression did you choose and why. And we have color pencils, we have some more color pencils, pens and pencils, markers, art paper, scissors, and then we have our paper and pencils to write, answer our questions and our reflection. So now I'm just going to give you some little questions to ask you about that goes with the art. So let me see. Okay, so how do you feel artists can use lines, shapes, and colors to show their emotions? Like, what are some ways that an artist can use shapes, lines, colors to express themselves?
They can use multiple different colors.
Speak up.
They can use multiple different colors.
Okay, and what can they do? Like, what is it something that they can do? Like, for example, I can use shapes like a circle because I'm feeling happy, sunshine, energetic. I'll use a circle to draw a sun as a symbol of my happiness, me shining, So what things do you think people can use with colors to express themselves?
Maybe a triangle as tiredness.
Okay, or like using the color blue or purple for relaxation. Mm-hmm. Using red for if they're tired or if they're sad. Pink or yellow if they're happy. Things like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think drawing will tell stories without words? Like different paintings that you see probably like in an art gallery. How do you think that tells a story without words? How does art tell stories without words? Why do you think that is?
Art tells lots of different...
Speak up. Mm-hmm.
Art tells lots of different stories from different pictures.
Why do you think that is?
Because artists usually paint and draw when when they're feeling some type of way. Like they can draw a happy painting if they're feeling pretty happy, or sad painting if they're feeling pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it can tell a lot when you're looking at the painting.
Yeah, so art is communication. It's a communication line, and you can use different things of art. Like music is art, cooking is art, building is art. That's why it's called architect. Creation is art. So it's a form of communication. It's symbols. Symbols is art. And symbols symbolize communication, what you're trying to get across or what you're trying to speak of. So you can look at a picture and you can think of a million things on why somebody have painted something, and try to see what the artist was thinking, or try to shape what they were trying to say, or they'll have it down in a paragraph for you on what their drawing is. So art is a form of communication. Why do artists make intentional expressive choices? Why do you think they make intentional art that express who they are? Why do you think artists do that?
To show the different types of emotions that happen. To show what's really going into the painting.
Yeah, that is true. Like I said, art is communication. So any form of art is actually communicative and expressing what the artist is thinking, feeling, whether the artist is doing it for themselves or something else. It's always expressive, and so they can connect with people. Art, because it's a communicative form of language. So when you're drawing, building, cooking, whatever you're doing in the art world, is because you are trying to communicate something somewhere, to something or somebody. Whenever you're doing art, is to communicate. Even when you're building a house, you are creating something for someone to receive, to be able to live in, to be able to have a form of comfort, to have a meaning to them, and to shape, to communicate, express the identity of someone else. Because someone can like this house, but they may but they might not like the house next door. So different things will communicate and reach certain people, and certain people wouldn't. Everybody have different, different things that they like. So it's a very expressive and communicative language, and a lot of artists use it to communicate. So how does personal experience influence artistic expression? So how would a person's experience influence their art? So how would a person experience influence their creativity of art? So what is this asking is, however you're feeling, how can that influence somebody? So if you're feeling good and you create a painting where it's you might be able to paint more better that other people may like. Or sometimes if you're feeling down, you might not be able to paint that well. Or it might could be a flip side, where one time when you're feeling so down, you need to transmute that energy and turn it into art. So you go into your art studio and you create something magnificent. It can be and then it'll reach the people. So how do you think a person's experience can show up into their art? How does people art influence? How would your art influence other people? How would your art make other people feel? What do you think your art will say, or what would it say if it was communicating to others? What do you think your art will make people feel, whether it's your clothes, your drawing? How would that make other people feel?
Happy.
Mm-hmm.
Happy. My paintings and stuff are happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I give a happy feel to them. And I only really draw when I'm happy.
Okay, good. That's good. Okay, so the objective of this lesson is we're going to identify expressive qualities in sample drawings. We're going to compare lines and shape styles, describe how they show emotions. We're going to create a drawing that visually communicates an emotion using expressive elements, and explain artistic choice in writing using descriptive languages. So what we're going to do is basically we're just going to draw something of our expression using different shapes, lines, colors of our expression of self and how we feel, and we're going to turn it into art of whatever that might be. So that's going to be what we're going to do. Okay, so we already have our materials, so our activities. So I'm just going to go over the activities and the questions that we're going to do. So we're going to show expressive artwork, and we're going to discuss visible emotions. So we're going to do our artwork, and we're going to go over our art and why we did it, and then we're going to answer questions. And then we're also gonna have a reflection. We're gonna have a reflection where we write 2 to 3 sentences, which we're gonna speak that. We're gonna speak our reflection on our art and what we did, and then we're gonna answer some questions. So after we're done with the drawing, I'll ask the questions. I'll ask the questions, and we can be able to speak that out. We'll write it or either speak it depending on the time that we have. So whichever paper that you want to use, we might probably want to use a light paper. And then we're going to, whether you're going to need a pencil, we got color pencils here. And then we start to just draw our expressions of our emotions and, how we're feeling. And we're going to put it on a piece of paper. Make this fairly quick. And then you're going to use shapes, colors, lines to create. And that's shapes and colors is anything, because you can draw. Like I said, you could draw the sun, and you could draw some clouds with some stars, or you can draw whatever might feel, however you're feeling, express it. If you're feeling happy, picture something that might be happy to you, that you might think is happy, and draw it on the paper. Add a little, make sure you have lines, whether it's zigzag lines, like some clouds. Those are the little lines, you know. If you want to add some stars, which is, you know, that's a shape. The sun is a shape. House, how you could do a square, square with a triangle at the top.
Flowers.
Yeah, flowers is a shape. Yeah, you can do that too. So yeah, we'll use some different ones. So let's give it like 2 more minutes. Okay. Let me take a picture. Okay, so now we can go over explaining your artistic decisions. So, explain to us, just in a few words, what is your self-expression, and what is it expressing?
Happiness.
Speak up. Okay.
Happiness.
And why does flowers symbolize your happiness?
They smell really good.
Speak up, Leah. So.
They smell really good. They're really pretty, and they make me really happy just by looking at them.
Great. That is great. I did a sun with some grass because to symbolize happiness, because sunniness and outside nature always symbolizes happiness and abundance to me. So I express it with sun and grass. Now we're going to answer these questions. So how did your drawing show your chosen emotion? So just express that over quickly. How did it show? Why did your flowers show your happiness emotion?
Because my flowers look really happy.
Good. So, which lines or shapes communicated your story the most?
I think hearts and circles.
Yeah, hearts and circles. You have a little bit of a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That shows the flowers. Mine is a circle and little M shapes. What might you change or add to strengthen your expressive message?
Maybe a little bit more decoration to the flowers.
Good. With mine, I could have did a little bit more nature's background. Okay, well, thank you so much for the time of watching my self-expression art lesson plan. And it was nice for my daughter to join me while doing this. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.